All right, today we're diving into a really interesting concept called Triora. Now, what's fascinating here is that it's not trying to be just another app. The idea is way bigger. It's pitched as an operating system for your entire life. So let's break down what that actually means.
But first, let me ask you something. Just take a second and think about your big goals in life. You know, the stuff you really want to achieve. Now think about your calendar from yesterday and how you spent your money last week. Are all those things, your goals, your time, and your money, are they all working together? Are they pulling in the same direction? If you're like most of us, chances are there's a bit of a disconnect there.
And this disconnect, well, it leads to what the source material calls a tale of two lives. On one side, there's the scattered life. You're constantly reacting to things, putting out fires, feeling unfocused. Then there's the dream, right? The aligned life, where you're intentional, your actions are integrated, and you're making conscious choices. That gap between those two lives is the exact problem Triora is setting out to solve.
The folks behind it have a name for this problem: the daily disconnect. It's that feeling we all get sometimes where the little things we do every single day just don't feel like they're adding up to the big things we say we care about.
So, how do you fix that? How do you bridge that gap? Well, Triora's answer isn't just another to-do list or a new productivity hack. They're actually proposing a whole new category of tool, your own personal Life OS, or Life Operating System.
So officially, Triora is defined as a smart personal operating system for aligning your goals, habits, time, and money. And that phrase, operating system, is really important. Think about it. It's not just an application. It's meant to be the foundational layer that helps everything else in your life run better together.
But this isn't just a random mix of features. The really cool part is the philosophy behind it. Everything is built on this core idea they call the Golden Trio Framework. And as you're about to see, the number 3 is absolutely central to its entire design.
First up, it breaks your life down into 3 core dimensions. You've got self, which is all about your habits, your personal goals, and that inner clarity. Then there's time, which covers your daily tasks and routines. And finally, money, which is for budgeting and making sure you're spending with intention. I mean, these are the 3 big resources we all have to manage every single day.
Now, to make that all work, there are 3 core engines running under the hood. There's a tracking engine that basically just captures what you're doing, your actions and your data. Then a goal and growth system takes that data and links it directly to your big picture goals. And finally, an insight dashboard shows you the patterns and gives you feedback on how aligned you really are. And guiding this whole system are, you guessed it, 3 principles. Alignment, so you're actually living by your own values. Intentionality, so you're using your time and money on purpose. And interconnection, which is this really cool idea that when you grow in one area, say self-awareness, it naturally fuels progress in all the others. So, here you can see how it all fits together. This trio concept is everywhere, from the functional engines powering the thing to the core principles guiding you, and even looking ahead to the future stakeholders. It's this structure, this repetition of 3s, that creates a system that feels really cohesive and, honestly, super scalable.
Okay, so that's the big idea. It sounds great in theory, but how does it actually work day to day? Let's take a look at how Triora is designed to turn your good intentions into actual, concrete actions.
The user journey is designed to be a simple 3-step loop. First, you define your goals and the tasks needed to get there in the Self module. Step 2, you schedule actual time for those tasks in a Time module. And Step 3, you fund them by setting aside a budget in the Money module. See? It creates this perfect, unbroken chain from what you want to do to the resources you need to actually do it.
But here's the really smart part, the insight layer. Let's say you set a goal to learn to code, but then you never actually schedule any time for it, or you don't budget for a course. The system is designed to spot that disconnect and give you these gentle nudges, basically highlighting where your actions aren't matching your ambitions.
And this whole vision goes way beyond just being a handy little app on your phone. The plan they've laid out is seriously ambitious. There's a whole roadmap designed to evolve Triora from a simple tool into a complete interconnected ecosystem.
It's a 5-phase plan, and it's all about starting lean and scaling smart. It kicks off with a super focused MVP, just the Self module, to prove the core concept. Then it expands to the full core, self, time, and money. After that, they start layering in AI, a marketplace, and then API integrations, eventually even expanding to help teams and businesses.
And you know, the whole plan feels really grounded and realistic. Get this, the budget for that very first phase, the Lean MVP,
is just 50,000 Philippine pesos. That really shows a commitment to starting small, proving it works, and building from there.
And that small start allows them to invest strategically as they grow. You can see the budget scales with each phase, from that initial 50K to 150K for building out the full core, and then 250K to bring in the AI and other smart features. It's a really deliberate way to grow.
So where's all this heading? Well, the long-term vision is a fully connected ecosystem. Just imagine Tria pulling data from your bank, your Google Fit, your calendar. Imagine a marketplace where you can find courses or tools that are perfectly aligned with the goals you've already set, or even using it with your family or your team at work to tackle shared goals. The possibilities are huge.
So let's bring this all back home. When you strip everything else away, the ultimate goal of this entire system is actually very simple, but also incredibly powerful. It's all about helping you live a more aligned life.
There's this one quote from the white paper that just sums it all up perfectly. It says, Triaura empowers users to transform intentions into action, build meaningful routines, and gain insight into how they are spending their most critical resources. And what are those resources? Your energy, your time, and your money. And that really just leaves us with one final big question to think about. If your life had its own dedicated operating system, one designed from the ground up to get every part of it working together, what could you achieve?